Can't read, can you? Says right here, white residents only. That's not you. Get lost. Officer. Wade Shaw's voice cuts through the golden quiet of Riverside Family Park like a blade. His jaw tightens as he yanks the folded newspaper from Bowont Mills' hands, flinging it back in his face. The thin pages scatter like frightened birds, and one lands near a little girl's pink shoes. Her mother covers her eyes. Too late. The girl has already seen too much. 80 people freeze. A picnic fork stops midair. The laughter dies. And Bowont Mills, tall, composed, and impeccably dressed in a gray vest and slacks, doesn't move. His brown skin gleams under the sunset, his calmness almost unnerving. Officer, Bo says evenly, I'm just waiting for my wife. I don't care if you're waiting for the president himself, Wade snaps. Move, or you're going in cuffs. Wade's hand hovers over his handcuffs, but Bo's stillness only enrages him more. The officer's eyes flick to the bench carving from 1952. White residents only. He sees history and decides to reenact it. What Wade Shaw doesn't know is that the man he's threatening is the wrong man to touch. Not just another black man sitting where he doesn't belong. This is Director Bowont Mills, head of the FBI. And in less than 18 minutes, Wade's entire life, career, and name will detonate across every screen in America. But for now, he's still playing the hero of his own delusion, thinking this is just another cleanup job. The kind cops brag about over beers. The kind that leaves bruises and silence. Bo breathes out slowly, the way every black man learns to when power presses down on his neck. He's not angry. He's assessing, calculating. Behind his calm eyes, a silent machine has already been triggered. 30 meters away, Officer Tai Ross, off duty, tossing a frisbee with his son, catches sight of Bo. There's something familiar about him. The posture, the face. Recognition flickers, but his son shouts for another throw, and Tai turns away. 17 minutes before Wade's reckoning, the stage is set. Families, phones, cameras, witnesses. Even Judge Franklin Hayes, filming his daughter on the swings, unknowingly records history's first frame. Wade takes a step closer, his shadow swallowing Bo. This is a family area. You're making people uncomfortable. Bo's voice stays steady. Officer, I'm not bothering anyone. You are now. Then Wade makes the fatal move, grabbing Bo's collar, shoving him back against the stone bench. The sound of impact silences the park. Mothers clutch children. Someone whispers, "Oh my God." The newspaper headline, FBI announces police reform initiative. Lies torn in the dirt between them. The irony is bleeding. Everyone in the park knows the difference between police work and abuse. But Captain Roy Cross doesn't care. He strolls up like this is routine, 50s confident, the kind of man whose authority is armor. What's the situation, Shaw? Subject refusing to comply, Wade replies instantly. No ID, suspicious behavior. Bo speaks calmly. Captain, I was simply sitting on a public bench. I don't care, Roy cuts him off. Cuff him. Sorted at the station. The crowd erupts. He didn't do anything. Record this. Phones lift, dozens of them, 40 lenses all focused on the same injustice. Wade grabs Bo's arm, twisting it hard behind his back. Hands behind your back. Bo complies. No struggle, no threat. The handcuffs flash under the sun. Click, click. Then Wade crosses the line that no one will forget. He shoves Bo to his knees, hand on his head, knee pressed into his back. Grass stains his slacks. Dirt digs into his palms. Should have moved when I told you. 20 meters away. Officer Tai Ross freezes mid-step. His son calls for the frisbee, but Tai can't look away. That face, that voice. It's familiar, important, but he can't place it. His son tugs his sleeve, pulling him back to normal life. Tai turns away, haunted. near the swings. Judge Franklin Hayes keeps filming his daughter, not realizing his camera captures everything: the brutality, the angle, the light, the truth. A silver Mercedes slows nearby. Councilman Rex Ford peers out. "Everything under control, officers?" Roy straightens. "Yes, sir. Routine trespassing." Rex's gaze lands on Bo. Something flickers. Recognition, but he buries it. "Good work. Keep our park safe." Window up. Gone. Wade hauls Bo to his feet, shoving him toward the patrol car as the crowd parts. The little girl who saw it all tugs from her mother's arms, crying, "Mommy, is that man bad?" Her mother kneels, tears streaking her cheeks. "No, baby. He's not bad. He's not bad at all." The metal door slams shut with a thud that feels like a sentence. Inside the car, Bo sits straight, wrists red, expression calm, like he's seen this before, like he expected it. Roy rides shotgun. Wade grins behind the wheel. "Comfortable back there? Not used to riding in police cars, are you?" Bo doesn't answer, just breathes. "No ID," Wade mutters. "Suspicious as hell." What they don't know: Bo's phone is in his vest pocket. Active, transmitting, tracking. "Dispatch, this is Shaw. One in custody, heading to station. Trespassing, disorderly conduct, resisting arrest." The dispatcher hesitates. "Copy that, Shaw." Her voice trembles. 3 minutes earlier, she'd taken a call from someone claiming to be FBI, asking about Director Mills. She thought it was a prank. Now she's not so sure. By the time the patrol car leaves the park, the footage is already uploading. By the time they reach the station, millions will have seen it. Wade still thinks it's just another good day's work. At the station, fluorescent lights hum. Wade yanks Bo out, shoving him through the doors. Officers glance up, see a black man in cuffs, look away. Just another Tuesday. But Officer Kate Dunn watches. She doesn't know why, but this feels wrong. "Captain, what's the charge?" she asks. "Standard booking, trespassing, resisting, disorderly," Roy replies without slowing. At the booking desk, Officer Ramosian scans Bo's prints. Index, middle ring, pinky. The computer processes a beep. Then red text flashes on screen. "Match found. Bowont Mills, FBI Director, Priority Alpha, notify DOJ immediately." Wade leans closer. "Captain, that says..." Roy slams the laptop shut. "System glitch, false positive." "But sir, I said malfunction, manual processing." Ramos hesitates 3 seconds. Those 3 seconds will haunt him forever. He clears the alert. What he doesn't know: the system already sent an automatic backup to federal servers. Time, location, names, everything. Federal logs never lie. Kate saw Roy's panic, heard his tone, saw the cover-up. She's writing everything down. Wade escorts Bo to holding. Roy follows. Wade slips Bo's phone into his own pocket instead of tagging it. Another violation Roy ignores. They lock Bo in a cell. Cold, gray, silent. Bo closes his eyes, begins to count. Outside, Tai Ross bursts through the entrance, breathless, holding his phone. "Shaw, you brought someone in from Riverside?" "Yeah." Wade grins. "Troublemaker at the memorial bench. He's where he belongs." Tai's blood runs cold. His voice drops to a whisper. "Oh my God, that's the man who saved my career." And somewhere beneath their feet, a federal alarm is still ringing. Officer Tai Ross heads for holding, pretending it's routine. "I'll check the booking log for night shift," he tells the front desk. But when he reaches the cell window and sees the man inside, sitting upright, eyes closed, hands folded, every memory crashes into place. FBI Assistant Director Bowont Mills. 7 years ago, the man who saved his career. The memory slams into him like a hit from nowhere. 25-year-old Tai. terrified, handcuffed in an interrogation room. A corrupt sergeant leaning over him, forcing a confession for evidence Tai never touched, his career about to die before it even started. Then the door opened. A calm man in an FBI vest walked in and said 5 quiet words. "I'm taking this case now." 3 days later, Mills had found the real culprit, cleared Tai's name, and restored his life. Before leaving, he'd given advice Tai never forgot. "Integrity isn't convenient, Officer Ross. It's necessary. When you see something wrong, you speak up, even when it costs everything. Remember that." And now the man who once saved him sits behind bars because 2 corrupt cops arrested the director of the FBI. "Oh my God," Tai whispers, hand trembling toward his pocket. His off-duty body cam has been recording since the park. Proof, evidence, justice. He finds Officer Kate Dunn at her desk, her face pale with unease. She's been waiting for confirmation of what she already suspects. "Dunn, evidence room, now." Once inside, Tai doesn't waste breath. "That man in holding, FBI Director Bowont Mills, my old boss, the man who saved my career 7 years ago." Kate's eyes go wide. "Does Roy know?" "He knows. He saw the fingerprint match and shut the laptop. Called it a malfunction. I need Shaw's body cam. All of it." Kate's fingers fly across the keyboard. They open Wade's footage, and the truth plays in chilling clarity. The newspaper ripped, Bo's calm defiance, Wade's rage, the shove, the knee, the child crying. Wade's voice fills the room. "You people always push boundaries." Kate's hand covers her mouth. "That's a federal civil rights violation. Multiple counts." Tai checks the system logs. "Kate, look." Roy manually dismissed the FBI alert at 4:44. It was a priority alpha. Automatic DOJ notification. He shut it down, ordered Ramos to clear it. That's obstruction of justice. "Conspiracy." Kate stares at the monitor, horrified. He knew who Bo was. Tai opens another folder. Password protected. He types a code he shouldn't know. The folder opens. Shaw. Cross complaints. Archive. 23 files. All dismissed, all buried. He clicks the first. Marcus Freeman. 34. Routine traffic stop. Body cam shows Wade pulling drugs from a trunk that was empty seconds before. Marcus screaming, "That's not mine!" Result, 8 months in jail, lost job, lost custody of his daughter. Second file, Keisha Washington. Cuffed outside her kids' school while they screamed, "Mommy!" Therapy twice a week. Custody lost. Third, Luis Rodriguez. 38. Baton strikes, 345. Ruptured kidney, hospital bills. Justified force, Roy's report reads. Kate's voice shakes. This isn't just corruption, it's a system. Roy trained Wade, protected him, built a culture of abuse. Tai moves to the security monitor. Every camera's red light blinks steadily. Kate frowns. Wait, those aren't our indicators. Ours are green. Tai opens access logs. His breath catches. Someone accessed our feeds remotely. Federal level. Activated 2:30 p.m., 2 hours before the arrest. Kate stares at him, realization dawning. They knew, she whispers. They were already watching. This was a trap, Tai mutters, eyes darting over the monitor. Bo knew. The FBI's been watching everything. Kate's breath catches. How long? Tai scrolls. Timestamps blinking like countdown digits. They've been in our system for hours, saw every file, every case, every victim. Roy's been suppressing alerts the whole time. A cold silence fills the evidence room. Then Tai yanks a USB drive from his pocket. We document everything, every file, every violation before Roy buries it. He plugs in the drive. The hum of data transfer fills the room like a heartbeat. Kate hesitates. If they find out, then we go down doing right. Tai hands her a second drive. Insurance. As the files copy, Tai hears Bose's voice in his head. Integrity isn't convenient. It's necessary. He tucks the drive beside his body cam. On the monitor, red lights blink. Dispatch channels frozen. "They're not calling anymore," Kate whispers. "They're here, watching." Tai nods grimly. "Then we make sure they see the truth." Footsteps echo in the hall. Closer, then fade. They slip out separately. Tai walks past the holding cells and Bo's eyes open, calm and unblinking. A single nod passes between them. 8 minutes until the FBI arrives. Washington, D.C., FBI headquarters. Deputy Director Sarah Grant jolts as an alert flashes across her screen. Priority Alpha alert suppressed. Director Mills in local custody. Her coffee hits the floor. Within seconds, she's on the phone. "Attorney General, confirmation. Mills arrested by Arlington PD. Suppressed alerts. We're moving." "Mobilize tactical," the AG orders. "Quiet approach. No sirens. I want them to see who they've crossed." "ETA 12 minutes," Sarah replies, already sprinting to the garage. 3 black SUVs glide from the Hoover building, joined by 2 U.S. Marshal vehicles at the Arlington border. 5 shadows slicing through the city. At Arlington PD, Captain Roy Cross ends a call, sweat pooling under his collar. The voice on the other end had been cold and absolute. 8 minutes to release him, or your career ends. Councilman. Rex Ford. Bursts in, pale. "Was that FBI?" Roy's stare is hollow. "That man we arrested. He's their director." Rex sinks into a chair. "Dear God, you knew?" Roy's voice breaks. "I thought I could hide it." "You tried to bury a federal alert." Silence, then panic. "If we release him, we admit guilt. If we don't, they'll destroy us." Outside, the black SUVs glide closer. 4 minutes out. Roy storms to the cell, flings the door open, and drags Bo into interrogation. Wade follows, stunned. "Sir, there's been a misunderstanding," Roy stammers. "If you cooperate..." Bo's calm cuts like steel. "I've been cooperative for 57 minutes while you committed felonies that I'll define your careers." His voice rises, echoing through the walls. "You forced me to my knees in front of a 5-year-old girl who asked her mother why you were being mean." And as those words hang in the air, 3 minutes away, the FBI closes in. The look on Bo's face says it all. Calm authority standing in a room full of men who suddenly understand what the word accountability feels like. Rex's fingers tremble as he grips his useless phone, trying to dial favors that no longer exist. Bo tilts his head slightly, voice calm but deadly. "Looking for your judges, councilman? Your golf partners? Your ghost donors? None of them can save you now. Justice doesn't hide. It arrives, with sirens." And right on cue, those sirens grow louder. Wade turns toward the window, face drained of blood, as 3 black SUVs roll into the parking lot. Federal seals gleam under the streetlights. Behind them, 2 U.S. Marshal vehicles take formation like executioners. Bo's voice stays even. "You hear that? That's integrity coming for you, gentlemen." The front door slams open with a shockwave of authority. 6 FBI agents storm the hallway in formation, weapons drawn, led by Deputy Director Sarah Grant, her icy gaze slicing through every uniform in sight. "Nobody moves," she commands. "This facility is under federal control." Officers freeze. Desks, papers, voices, all stop. The entire building goes silent except for the sound of federal boots on tile. Roy steps forward, his voice cracking under the weight of his own downfall. "Deputy Director Grant, there's been some kind of misunderstanding." Sarah doesn't even blink. "The misunderstanding," she says evenly, "is you thought you could arrest a federal director, suppress alerts, and still go home tonight." 2 agents move to Bo's side immediately. One unlocks the cuffs with trembling precision. Bo rubs his wrists, but keeps his eyes on Roy. "I told you 9 minutes," he murmurs. "You used every one of them poorly." Roy collapses back into his chair, pale and silent. Rex looks at Bo like a man watching a tidal wave hit. Wade can't look up at all. Sarah glances at Bo. "Sir, we've secured the scene. Do you want them read their rights?" Bo nods once. "Every last one. Full documentation. Start with obstruction, civil rights deprivation, conspiracy, falsifying federal records. Agents move fast, professional, efficient. Each name on the Arlington PD roster already queued for suspension." Roy's voice comes out hoarse, desperate. "Director Mills, please, I made mistakes, but we can fix..." Bo turns his gaze on him, soft but final. "Mistakes are accidents, Roy. What you did was deliberate. You didn't just fail your badge, you poisoned it." As Roy's wrists are cuffed, the metallic click echoes through the station like judgment itself. In the corner, Tai stands watching quietly, his off-duty body cam still running, recording everything, the truth, the reckoning, and the man who once told him that integrity isn't convenient. Sarah meets Bo's eyes one last time. "Washington's waiting for you." Bo nods, stepping toward the door, past the fallen captains and the silent councilman. "Let them wait," he says. "Justice doesn't rush. It arrives right on time." Told Shaw it was malfunction. That's obstruction of justice, conspiracy, federal felonies with mandatory minimums. Morrison's voice is calm, but each word lands like a hammer. Wade's entire body trembles. "I didn't know what it said," he stammers. "Captain told me system glitch. I was following orders." Bo's gaze slices through the air, sharp, steady, merciless. "You saw that screen, Shaw. You read those words, FBI Director. You had a choice, to question a false explanation or hide behind your captain's lies. You chose corruption over courage." His voice lowers, lethal. "That choice costs 11 years in federal prison." Sarah taps a key. The monitor floods with columns of evidence. "Package 2, she says. 18 months of data, 273 documented incidents, 89 civilian complaints, all buried by Captain Cross. The numbers keep scrolling. Racial profiling, 340% above the national average, a pattern so consistent it can't be accidental. It's organized abuse of power." Morrison steps forward. "But numbers don't bleed," he says quietly. "Statistics don't bury their children. Let's talk about the human cost of what you built." The door opens. 4 figures enter. Marcus Freeman, Kesha Washington, Luis Rodriguez, James Murphy. Survivors, not statistics. Wade's face drains of color. "No," he whispers. Marcus steps forward first, voice trembling but strong. "You planted drugs in my car, smiled while destroying my life for a quota. I spent 8 months in jail, lost my daughter, lost everything, for your numbers." Kesha's tears spill freely. "You handcuffed me in front of my children. My 6-year-old still wakes up screaming. You called that procedure, I call it trauma." Luis lifts his shirt, showing a thick scar across his ribs. "You beat me while I was cuffed, said I was resisting. You ruptured my kidney. My family went bankrupt paying the hospital bills." James, a veteran with calm fury, steps forward. "I fought for this country. You called me a thug. Locked me in a cell for 36 hours with no charge. You broke more than the law. You broke trust." Silence. Thick, heavy, sacred. Morrison breaks it. These 4 represent 23 victims. 23 destroyed lives. All covered up by Cross. All protected by Ford's money. All enabled by Shaw's obedience. Sarah pulls up the final email on screen. Roy Cross to Wade Shaw. "Handle the black ones rough. Arrest quotas matter more than complaints. I'll handle any blowback." Bo's voice is steady, controlled. That's not coded language. That's an order to violate civil rights. That email alone convicts you both. Morrison rises, formal and final. "Officer Wade Shaw, you're under arrest for deprivation of rights under color of law, evidence tampering, and aggravated assault. Captain Roy Cross, obstruction of justice, conspiracy, racketeering. Councilman Rex Ford, bribery, money laundering, conspiracy to obstruct justice. Handcuffs click. The same sound Bo heard earlier, but this time it means justice. Outside, the crowd from the park has gathered. Cheers erupt as Bo walks free while the corrupt are led away in chains. Little Emma points, wide-eyed. "Mommy, the nice man's okay. The mean policeman didn't win." Her mother nods, voice trembling. "No, baby, justice won." Cameras flash, reporters swarm. Bo faces them calmly. Power without accountability is tyranny. Today, accountability won, but it should never take 23 ruined lives to get here. Make it automatic. Film everything. Speak up. Demand better. 3 years later. Arlington PD stands transformed. Glass walls, transparent leadership. Captain Tai Ross leads new recruits to the same park bench where it all began. A bronze plaque glows in the sunlight. In memory of 23 victims, in honor of truth. Justice delayed is justice denied. FBI Director Mills. Marcus Freeman sits there again, free, healed, smiling faintly. Tai tells the rookies, "Your badge doesn't make you right. Your actions do. Integrity does. Remember that." Bo's voice echoes in Tai's memory. Power fears cameras, courage, and truth. The bench is still there. So is the fight. Justice doesn't rest. Be on the right side. Told Shaw it was malfunction. That's obstruction of justice, conspiracy, and federal felonies with mandatory minimums, Sarah says coldly. Wade trembles. "I didn't know what it said. Captain told me it was a system glitch. I was following orders." Bo's voice slices through him. "You saw that screen, Shaw. You read the words, FBI Director. You had a choice. Question the lie or obey corruption. You chose the easy road. That road ends in prison." Sarah taps the laptop. A spreadsheet fills the wall, rows of pain disguised as data. Rex makes a sound like something breaking inside. "Evidence package 2, Sarah announces. 18 months of investigation, 273 incidents, 89 buried complaints. Racial profiling 340% above national average. This isn't random, it's organized abuse." Morrison leans forward. "Numbers don't bleed. Let's talk about the people who did." The door opens. 4 figures step in. Marcus Freeman, Keisha Washington, Luis Rodriguez, James Murphy. Their faces tell stories the reports never could. Wade's face drains white. Marcus, the man he framed. Bo's voice is clinical, almost surgical. "Officer Shaw, I believe you remember Mr. Freeman." Marcus steps closer, voice trembling but powerful. "You planted drugs in my car. You looked me in the eye while I begged you to check the cameras. You smiled, while ruining my life. 8 months in jail, lost my job, lost my daughter, all for your quota." Keisha speaks next, tears streaking her face but voice unflinching. "You handcuffed me in front of my kids. My daughter was 6. She still wakes up screaming. You didn't just arrest me, you branded her childhood with fear." Luis lifts his shirt. An angry scar runs across his ribs. "You did this, Shaw, while I was cuffed. I can't work anymore. My family's broke, but your report said justified." James Murphy, Purple Heart glinting on his chest, limps forward. 3 tours overseas. Enemy fire couldn't break me, but you tried. You locked me up 36 hours for nothing. You spat on everything I served to protect." Silence hits like thunder. Morrison's voice cuts through it. "These 4 represent 23 victims. 23 lives your department buried to protect its own lies." Sarah switches the screen. An email appears. "Handle the black ones rough. Arrest quotas matter more than complaints. Target high-crime demographics. I'll handle blowback." Roy closes his eyes. Bo's voice is blade sharp. "That's not coded language, Captain. That's an instruction to commit crimes." Morrison rises. "Wade Shaw, You are under arrest for deprivation of rights, evidence tampering, and aggravated assault. Captain Roy Cross, obstruction, conspiracy, and systemic corruption. Councilman Rex Ford, bribery, laundering, and federal conspiracy. U.S. Marshals move in. Handcuffs click. The same sound Bo heard an hour ago, but now it means justice. Wade sobs. "Please, I'm sorry." Marcus steps forward, voice steel. "Sorry doesn't give me back 8 months or my daughter's trust." Roy stares into nothing, hollowed out. Rex tries one last bluff. "I have immunity." Morrison's voice is ice. "Not from justice, not anymore." Outside, the crowd waits. Witnesses, cameras, the 5-year-old girl from the park. When they see Bo free and the officers led out in chains, applause erupts like thunder. "Mommy, look! The nice man's okay! The mean policeman didn't win!" the girl cries. Her mother whispers, "That's right, baby. Justice won." A reporter calls out, "Director Mills, what message do you want to send?" Bo turns to the cameras, voice carrying like gospel. Power without accountability is tyranny. Today, accountability won, but it shouldn't take 23 ruined lives and an FBI director in cuffs to make justice notice. Film everything. Speak up. Demand better. The badge doesn't make you right. Your integrity does. The applause that follows isn't for power. It's for truth. Inside, Bo stands before the shattered department. "You have a choice," he tells them. "Continue Captain Cross's culture, or rebuild with integrity. Federal oversight begins today." Then he turns to Tai. "Officer Ross, 7 years ago, I saved your career because I saw integrity that couldn't be broken. Today, you proved I was right. Effective immediately, you are acting captain of Arlington PD." The room erupts. Kate Dunn steps forward, stunned. "Detective Dunn," Bo says, "your internal affairs, your job, make sure this never happens again." Outside, the 4 victims receive certificates of exoneration, official proof they were right, and the system was wrong. Marcus weeps, holding his daughter's picture. Keisha clutches hers to her chest. Luis exhales years of pain. James salutes silently. Bo faces the cameras again. Justice was served today, but real victory is what comes next. Make accountability automatic. Never stop filming the truth. 3 years later, the same bench in Riverside Park remains. A plaque now reads, "In memory of 23 victims, in honor of truth." Captain Tai Ross stands before new recruits. "A good man once sat here and was humiliated. 3 officers forgot what their badges meant. Don't ever forget." Marcus Freeman sits nearby, free at last, reading his newspaper where it all began. Justice didn't end. It evolved. This was a fate tale story, where real courage, truth, and integrity define destiny. If this moved you, like, share, and remind someone. No one is above the law.